when you think about responsibility, what comes up is this idea of consciousness and awareness in action in every moment of the day. So responsibility, responding consciously to what's going on. How am I taking responsibility of the space around me where I live? How am I taking responsibility of doing the dishes? Or in my little community where I live, dishes might pile up on the sink. Whose responsibility is that? I could look at that and I could go, well, again, those fuckers didn't do the dishes. Screw them. They're not abiding by my standards. And I could have all that running inside of me. Or I could also, well, whatever, I'm going to do the dishes. I hate seeing these dishes piled up. And maybe I'll even form a little bit of resentment towards them at the same time. Or I could also look at, what about another possibility of, I want to live in a culture and an environment where there is higher levels of responsibility, where doing dishes isn't just doing the dishes, but it also represents being in connection with each other and learning how to live with each other as adults who take responsibility. So it is about the dishes. It is, for me, it creates a good feeling in my body energetically and emotionally when the space is decluttered and clean. And I know that there are people in the space that I live with that appreciate less clutter. I know that it does well for their energetic body, for their emotional body to walk into a space and there isn't as much clutter around. And me holding that in my awareness that there's other people that like that and enjoy that and need that, I would say is taking higher levels of responsibility. If you look at this very simplistic diagram, child level responsibility is probably what makes up most of society. What I mean by that is, we're adults, are we not? Are we not, over a certain age, society has this idea that we're an adult, or at least we're growing up. I'm 40 years old. I'm an adult. I should be an adult. And yet, there is many examples where people in bodies that look like adults are still acting like children. And I'm sure you could realize what that might mean to you. I know that reactivity, like especially emotional reactivity in men, getting fucking angry out of the blue for no reason, or there's always reason. Is that not a child can do that to some extent because they don't have the awareness. They don't have the ability to choose how they're going to react in the moment. But we have enough consciousness, enough awareness to be able to choose how we want to react. And if we are just impulsively reacting all the time, especially from this, I'm talking about child tantrum-like anger in this moment, it doesn't really do society or culture or those around us any good, because it's kind of just like dumping shit on everyone around us. That's an example of childlike reactivity. And it's like, I can just fucking offload and explode all around me, and you have to all deal with the consequences and deal with my inner child having a tantrum. It's like giving responsibility to others and just letting myself be unhinged in that respect. So how about looking at high levels of responsibility around us all the time? When we wake up in the morning, how can I take responsibility for my own waste, for the rubbish I produce? Because someone's coming to pick it up every week, aren't they? For me, someone's coming to pick up my recycling and my garbage. And I know that I might not have as much time to deal with it, but maybe I could. Maybe there is a way to take more responsibility for the shit that I create and the effect that I have on the world and on the planet and how I choose to live day to day in my life, on my relationships, How can I take more responsibility with my partner that I choose to be with, that instead of just getting defensive or attacking back, maybe I choose to repeat and relate what I've just heard from them so they can feel heard, or finding whatever way it is to diffuse or just find another pathway into having a relationship which is based on connection and communication, which creates more of a culture of love and harmony and creativity together, instead of this low drama of, oh, you did this to me, so now I'm the victim, and fuck, I'm going to do this back to you now, and getting out of these cycles. So I invite you to experiment with just what it would feel like to have different levels of responsibility in your life. And it could look different for you, for me, for anyone, but go for it. Why? Yeah, don't procrastinate. And I invite you into a more responsible way of living.